I am laughing because I posted a meme yesterday
Oh, really?
and it was Homer Simpson and it was like a kind of like a before and after vibe. And so I'm just going to just display this
Uh,
visually for you because it puts it perfectly.
Hey, friend, welcome to the Ready to Rise podcast with your host, me, Audrey Rose. This is the podcast all about taking your life to the next level. Join me on my journey as I create a life that I'm obsessed to wake up for every day. I hope that you are ready to create a life that you really, really love. Are you ready to rise?
I'm so excited, Megan, to have you on the podcast because I met you I met you at a event with Crystal Jacobo, like the Galentine's event. But like I was just like, oh my God, I love her. And like I could see that you were doing the best job. Like I could just see from a distance, like she's fire. And then in the bathroom, we were like in the line in the bathroom, and I was like,
Yeah.
hi.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
Audrey. I need you to take photos of me. I just can tell you're talented. Can you? And literally those photos, like I still stare at them all the time. Like I like love them. And we've connected more ever since, of course. But
I
I'm so
know.
excited to have you on the podcast. If you want to do like a little intro, and then I would love to talk about your name, your business name, 4%. That's literally what I
Mhm.
have you as in my phone. We can get well.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. I've been excited to connect with you and the podcast, so I'm so happy to be here. And I love like our meeting story because we were literally in the bathroom and we were just like feeding each other compliments, like we were vibing. It was so funny. Um, but yeah, so my name is Megan, and I am a Southern California photographer. The name of my business is 4% Photo. And basically, I'm a for purpose business. So everything that I do with my work revolves around women. And the reason behind my name is that a percentage of my profit is donated to different women charities. I was really inspired back in the day by organizations like Love Your Melon. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them.
Oh,
So they're like they make beanies and they're really cute, and every time somebody buys one, they donate one to, I believe it's like children with cancer, different things like that. Or like Tom's, where it's like you buy a pair of shoes, they would send a pair of shoes over to different countries. I was very moved by that. And I was like, and this was, oh my gosh, like in years, like what was this, 2014, 15? It was when I was like,
wow.
yeah, this is like a great idea. And so my now husband and I were just kind of like, do, 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 and we came up with the name. And I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to get it, but this is just what feels right. And like you said, it's the name you have in your phone. I have been on different vacations, and
Yeah.
coincidentally, people who know me online have been there, and they're like 4%. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what? This is why. Like, I'm not that famous. Like, it was ironic that we both happen to
Yeah.
be in the same spot, but to be shouting that from like
Yeah.
across the room, and I'm like, what is this world? So yeah, in terms of more of what I do, I am a photographer for women entrepreneurs. I focus on capturing everything about their brand, which I believe is them. And so I really try and convey their message through the images and capture their personality and help them tell their story. I do a lot of motherhood because I myself am a mama of two little tiny humans. Um, so I do a lot of in the moment, real life, candid type of motherhood photo sessions. And then I do weddings as well because who doesn't love a good wedding?
I
Uh,
know, right?
yeah. And I mean, aside from my photography, I'm working on building a what I like to call like a little bit of a glorified mom group. It's fairly new. So if you are a mom and you are in the creative entrepreneur space, like I wanted to create a community of moms who actually have things in common other than the fact that we both have children. And I do mentoring for beginner photographers as well, trying to bridge that gap from like where the F do I start to starting.
I know, literally, I love everything that you're doing because, with me, it's like I get like an eye for something where I'm just like, that would be a cool photo, and it just never works out. I'm just like you'll even
uh,
me on my stories like, hey, wait, why is your back to the window? Like, put your face to the window. But you're so like literally those are like maybe even kind of normal things. Like those are kind of like,
Yeah.
starter things, but they're hard
Oh,
for
it's all trial and error. Even now, I mean, as you grow, it's just like on a different level. So now it's good to just try things because you never know what's going to work.
yeah,
That's where
exactly.
creativity sparks from, honestly.
And you have like, and we're gonna get into that in a minute about like, I really do want to touch on, being a creative and having like a business plus being a mom and all of that, like
Mm,
how you find time for that. But like for now, just freaking huge shout out because I tell you all the time, but you're like the most talented person I know.
thank you.
I always love like I know when I get photos from you, I just know like they're gonna be amazing. And I like
Thank
come prepared
you.
with my vision and you always like pull it out of me and vision is
I
always amazing. But
love it.
yeah, I mean, you're just amazing. And the comfort, like I think that that's something else.
Mm,
It's just like the comfort is always there. So
mhm.
teaching people like you being a mentor is so perfect for you because like you're passing
Mm,
that on to other people, like
yeah.
how to like have how to make somebody feel comfortable in front of the camera and like pose them a certain way. Like that's honestly like
Yeah.
you that might feel small, but like to somebody like me, that's like huge because I'm like, what am I gonna do with like my hands or whatever?
Yeah.
So
That's something that is honestly my favorite compliment to get. And it's definitely something that I need to keep hearing because I I don't know, like I don't pride myself enough on that because when people tell me that, I'm like, yes. And I have the confidence. I was like, I know that I'm going to make you comfortable in front of the camera, but just hearing it from like almost every single person who gets in front of my
yeah,
camera, I'm like, okay, like this is where I'm meant to be because we all have those moments where like, am I doing what I need to be doing? Am I in the right space? Like every once in a while we doubt ourselves, but when I hear that compliment, I'm like, yes, like I've put in a lot of work. I consider myself a very empathetic person, and I feel like that is kind of my superpower when it comes to photography. So thank you so much. That is my favorite compliment to get.
yeah, 100%. And as a woman, like I just feel like sometimes like and you know this too, because you're stepping more into like a different version of yourself. But as women, sometimes it's hard and scary to step into that
Mm,
next version of ourselves and to really highlight
yeah.
like there was a couple of women at the retreat we were just at where you were shooting entrepreneurs, and a couple of them were like, I want to do sexier photos, but I don't know,
Yeah.
like, should I? And even for
Uh,
me, like that wasn't my goal, but my goal was like, I want to show this off or do this. And I didn't know. I'm like, how do I do that? Like, how do I make it look good? And like,
uh-huh.
and it's a little bit awkward to step into that next version of yourself and show that off. And so
Hmm.
having somebody there who's like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do, and it's going to be
Yeah.
amazing, I promise, and give you that
Yes.
confidence to step into the next version of yourself. Like through
Yeah.
photography, through mentoring, through all kinds of different things, like as women, we deserve to like have those people around who are going to like lift us into that version.
Yes.
It's just
Yes,
so,
totally.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I sometimes look at photography like the person modeling, the
yeah,
person in front of the camera,
yeah,
almost like a little bit of acting. I'm like,
yeah,
you're in a movie right now. Like just step into that role. Like for myself, like I hop in front of the camera and I have confidence that I don't have when I am anywhere else. And I'm just like, okay, Megan, like it's portrayed in the pictures, and then in real life, I'm just like, sup.
yeah. Yeah, it's so
uh,
true. But that totally speaks to having like I'm so big on community and I know you are too.
mhm,
That
mhm.
totally speaks to having those people around who keep you pumped
Yeah.
up to that version of yourself. Like
Yeah.
keep you going.
Yes.
But you already know I really, really want to chat because I know all the listeners would really benefit from hearing how you juggle everything. I know it's a lot that you have going on in your life as an entrepreneur, a photographer, a creative. I feel like, I mean, shout me out like if I'm wrong because I'm not as creative as you, but I'm sure as a creative, you need space, you need time, you need to be able to get into that zone and just
Totally.
everything you're doing. How do you find the time? Like, how do you get into, yeah, how do you find time for the creativity to come through?
I am laughing because I posted a meme yesterday.
Oh, really?
And it was Homer Simpson, and it was like a kind of like a before and after vibe. And so I'm just gonna just display this
Uh,
visually for you because it puts it perfectly. The top picture, it was him asleep, and it was like normal people, and then the bottom picture was him wide awake, and it was just like all these thought bubbles everywhere, and it was like entrepreneurs. That is 100% me. The second I put my head on the pillow and my husband's like, let's cuddle. I'm like, but I'm having so many ideas. I need to like write these down because I will kind of forget in the morning. Like for the most part, I'll forget. And so at nighttime in the shower, when I'm least expecting it, I'm just like, oh, idea, idea, idea. I think what I have worked on kind of subconsciously over the years is like the lens that I'm looking through the world with, right? Anything can spark creativity, anything can spark an idea. Our conversation will probably spark some ideas for both of us.
yeah.
And it's taking that and sitting with it, you know, writing it down because maybe you'll come back to it later. Or sometimes you just need to write it down and let your mind work through it. And then you'll never think about it again.
Yeah.
But it's almost like you just built the muscle,
It-
right? And so
yeah.
listening to that voice, listening to that thought, and don't just be like, that never mind, that's dumb. You
Yeah.
know, give it life, even if it's just for a little bit.
I think that's so cool. You just said that about like letting it build the muscle and like working through it. And even if you just
Mm-hmm.
dump the idea later, because I personally feel like bad when I do that. I'm like, oh, wait, I have like a whole notes page of just ideas that haven't like come
Yeah,
to fruition. But honestly,
totally.
it's okay because like you're doing other things and it
Yeah.
strengthening the muscle to like think of new
Mm-hmm.
things.
Yeah.
How do you find time like later to sit down? Like, do you have like a routine at all or anything? Like, do you like, like the kids go to school or do something? Do you shut yourself in a room and like look through these notes and like do
Honestly, no. I wish I
yeah,
did, but
'cause you're
no.
so busy.
Um, I'm a 0 to 100 kind of girl. So, like, okay, the other night when I was referring to this meme, I was referring to it because literally like 4 nights ago, I was in bed and I was like, I am tired of being a part of mom groups where I just like feel so out of place. Like I have nothing to talk about them, nothing to talk to them with, you know? And I'm like, not that it's bad. Like I can adapt to a room. I can. But I was like, I'm tired of surface level conversations. And I've been this way for a while. I'm like, I'm so tired of surface level conversations. And I want to build real connections with people. And the people that I connect with are entrepreneurs because that is how my mind works. Like it just is. I am not just a mom and I don't want to just talk about my kids all day. Like they're
Yeah.
great, but that conversation does not like fuel me.
Yeah.
Like it's cute, it's fun, and it will come up naturally. But um yeah, I want to talk on deeper levels. So in the middle of the night, literally my husband is snoring right next to me and I bust out my phone and I'm in my notes app. Girl, my notes app, that if you I was being held hostage, that
Right.
is what I would have to hand over to like give me my freedom because it is gold. And
Oh,
oh my gosh, like so my notes app is just popping
yeah.
all the time. And in the middle of the night, I was like, like one thing that I have really tried to do more recently is like just go. Like
Hmm.
I have a tendency to wait until things are perfect in order for them to exist.
Uh,
And it's like, no, never, it's never going to be perfect. It was never a perfect time for me to have kids. We just said we're going to have kids and we made it happen in like 30 days.
yeah. Oh my
and,
God.
and so and then things just work out. You adapt, you figure it out along the way. And I need to have that mentality in the ideas that I have because a very common trend is, I mean, I've been in this industry for like 10 years, but on a very like scarce level, on a very tiptoe eggshell kind of vibe until the past 2 or 3 years. And so a big trend in my life is I'll have this amazing idea and I sit on it and it eats me alive. Every time I'm in the shower, I'm
Uh,
building on it. Every time I'm asleep, I'm building on it, but I do nothing. And then I turn around and somebody is putting that shit out into the world beautifully, amazingly. And like props on them. Like we could both do it. But I'm like, wow, look at how happy they are. Look at how much good they're doing. Like, why am I holding on to this? Why am I not putting it into the world? Right.
You
So,
just said it, like it's exactly that.
yeah. So just ripping the band-aid off and you
Mhm.
figure it out as you go. Like if it's constantly calling at you, it's calling you for a reason. So,
And it's like you'll find the time. I think that that's my thing with the perfection, like that you just said,
hmm,
is for me. And I don't even have kids, but it's like I'm so focused on that time piece. Like that's like what
yeah.
I was asking you, like, how do you find
Yeah.
the time? And you're like,
Yeah.
girl, I make the time. Like 10 minutes,
Mm,
5 minutes here, whatever. But like for me, it's like
yeah.
we have to have a 2 hour block and I have to like sit down and
Right.
think about it and all this stuff. And that is part of that perfectionism, like you said, where it's like, it's not
Yeah.
going to be
And it's
perfect.
hard.
Like, just do
It's
it.
hard. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you got to sacrifice some things because I have a million things I want to do, but I literally will write it down. Like I have two lists, and this is one of my ideas that I haven't brought to life, but I don't care. I'm just going to share it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make these like you know how like Post-its have like the sticky notes you can rip off.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this, but instead of just being blank, I call it my all the things list. And
Cool.
I literally have this and I handwrite it and it's my all the things. Anytime something comes to mind, it goes to my all the things. I
Yeah.
have some things on there that they haven't escaped the list in like 3 years, but that's okay. They are there. And if I ever feel like they need to come back to life, I can like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But then from that all the things list, I have my 3 priorities. And I'm like, obviously, these are the things I need to get done. Like, you know what's at the top of the
Yeah.
list. And it's like, okay, I need to give myself grace because I try and get everything done. And
Yeah.
it's like, I am not going to get through 300 things today, Megan. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
So it's just like really being at peace with setting your boundaries for yourself and like choosing that priority, even if it's one thing on your list for the day, because then you close that door and you go be present in your life again.
Oh, that's so good. I
Yeah.
wonder if that's like everybody feels that way or if that's like a creativity thing. 'Cause I do the same exact thing where I'm just like, okay, I gotta get like, even if it's just like a
Mhm.
graphic I'm posting or it's like a podcast
Exactly.
episode I'm editing, it's like, I
Yeah.
gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. Otherwise, I can't like go and be present with
Can't
everyone.
even focus.
Thinking of it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like biting my nails, like, oh my God.
I'm so glad we got to chat about that. And I really want to just highlight for everybody listening, because I know there's obviously tons of women listening and women love taking good pictures. So when you don't have a professional photographer around and you're trying to take selfies that look good and trying to look cute, I know you have some tips and you have a whole video that you've put together to help us.
Yeah.
Let's hear
Yes.
about this.
Yes. Well, I'm definitely going to give you guys the link to my selfie queen, a little bit of branding,
Yes.
little video there. But I would just say like, we go out in our daily life and you're like, "Ooh, that's a cute spot." Or I got all dressed up. I look really cute. And
Yeah.
I'm like going out like something that I have been doing, I would say maybe for the past month is just like removing the fear, removing the embarrassment, not giving a single F about who's around. I'm like, can you take a picture of me?
Yeah.
Because there are so many opportunities in our life where we're like, wow, if like I didn't have time to get myself ready and go out and just to take pictures, but
Yeah.
here I am and here I look a way I want to look. Like I
Yeah.
need to just take advantage of this moment because it doesn't come often.
Yeah.
And so that's my first tip, just because that's what I've been struggling with, is just like not every spouse is an Instagram spouse. They don't all know the angles, but you know what? Here's a trick that I have. If your person or a friend of yours is just like doesn't get it, you
Yeah.
have them hold your phone. You flip that screen around so it's like you're taking a selfie without the arm, and you just have them keep pushing the button, right? And they don't even need to be doing anything. You angle their arm the way you need it. You step back, you get your cute poses. They're not, you can close your eyes, honestly. Just keep pushing the button and don't move your arm.
Yeah. Oh, that's so smart. I'm gonna do that. Maybe that's another.
It's a funny one, but
Yeah.
okay, that's my tip just because that's what I've been struggling in my life personally is like, wow, like I don't always have the time to get all dressed up, but when I
Yeah.
do, we're usually going out with friends or on a date or something. And
Oh,
I'm like, I want to take a picture because
yeah.
I mean, to really like up level it, you want to be in like different environments. You want to have like a cute background, nature, trees, whatever it is, architecture, where it looks good. A big tip from like a photography eye is having like a clean background. So like a solid background or even just sky behind you, because it's going to make sure that you pop versus like, I don't know, like just a bunch of things.
Like
If
a
you're trying to take a selfie,
yeah.
yeah, like super busy, right? It's just gonna give it a cleaner look. So if
Uh,
I'm taking a picture of somebody, it's all about angles. Like you could be in a messy area, you could be in a busy area, but it's all about the angles. So if there's like a lot going on behind them, I can like lower down so it's more of the sky behind their head. You
yeah.
want to avoid like tree branches looking like they're behind their head. There's a lot of illusions that go on that you might not catch until the picture is already taken. And I'm like, oh great, I made them
Yeah.
look like a reindeer with a tree branch. Like
You're so funny because I'm again, like I'm so bad at I'm bad and I think I'm good.
Mhm.
That's the problem. But
It's
my
okay.
fiance always points out to me, he's always like, "Ooh, honey, there's a trash can." And I'm like, "Where's the trash? What? What trash can?" Yeah, there's a trash can
Oh,
like right there in the
that's
photo. Or like,
okay.
"Oh my God, you got this branch here." And yeah, but you're so right. It's like you got to pay attention to those things. So,
Yes. In the video that I'm going to have linked for you guys, I break down a complete tutorial of using Lightroom Mobile. So even if you're
whoa.
taking pictures on your phones, like that's a big thing. It's like you don't need to go out and buy a fancy camera, all this equipment. You always have your phone on you. It's okay that you're taking pictures on your phone. I think it's totally fine. But you can pop those pictures into Lightroom Mobile and you can edit it there. So in that video, I have like a whole tutorial on how to create a preset so that your photos all like look cohesive and they're edited beautifully and they all look the same. But with the trash can thing, there's a tool
Yeah.
on there where it lets you literally like
A fun little announcement for you guys. I've been keeping a secret. I've been building a community behind the scenes called the Rise Sisterhood. And this is where you can go in off of social media. You just literally plug into a community. It's not related to social media. It has so many things to offer you, including just a high vibe area where you can meet other people who are in the same boat as you, who want to connect with you, who want to change their lives, who are empowering each other to make all the differences in their lives. And we have monthly coffee chats, mocktail chats, expert experiences where people come in and teach you their specific healing modality that they are very good at to encourage you to, learn that at home and do it for yourself. And you, of course, get access to a vault where we hold all of the videos as they've happened in the past for you to rewatch over again. And you can do these healing techniques on yourself anytime, anywhere, from your phone, your laptop, whatever is how you can access that community. So to get in and get your steps and just hear more about it, text sisterhood to 707-347-0723.
select the trash can and you can like remove it. Yeah, it
Okay,
takes a
cool.
little practice. It's like cloning and healing and stuff is what it's
Yeah.
referred to as. But yeah, so on that link,
Oh
it'll
my
have all
gosh.
the little fun little tips and tricks. If you're like, if you
Okay.
just didn't notice the trash can, that's okay. We can fix it.
I can't wait to play around with that because I've
It's
actually had
fun.
the paid version of Lightroom forever and I've never done any of
Okay.
that stuff. So this
Ah,
is
oh
gonna be,
my gosh,
I
yes.
just got it for like preset, like I bought presets off Etsy and like they're
Oh,
all
I see.
bad, so like
Oh,
anyways, but
you
I
gotta,
just
yeah.
had
I teach you how to make your own, and
yeah.
and then you just your own style. It's all about you.
Oh, it's so much fun. I love it because I feel like so awkward to use like the tripod and like the clicker and blah blah blah.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I can even do like one of those little tripods and do the lens buddy. I gotta
yeah,
start practicing that more.
yeah.
Like the little
Try it around the house.
tripod. Yeah.
Go like near a window. Stand sideways so the window's here, and it gives you
Okay.
like a very good professional type of little lighting situation.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
excited. good.
And the window's a good prop.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I gotta
Yeah.
practice. But I'm so excited. So like your video that you did is so awesome.
Yeah.
Like I've watched it. I think it's great. It's obviously linked
Thank
in the show
you.
notes. And I know that you have it all over your Instagram page as well. But I do recommend like everyone should go see that because it's like
Yeah.
it's just enough. Loaded with content and it's still short enough
Hmm.
to just get in, get out, watch it, and you're gonna learn great tips. Like I think
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
take like a decent selfie now. So
Yeah, it's kind of a blended thing. It has a lot of information for entrepreneurs on how to like really clarify your brand and how to represent your brand on social media. But then I totally dive into like amazing, I call it my selfie queen, tutorials and tips and tricks. So if you're not an entrepreneur, you're still going to gain so much from it. But if you are an entrepreneur, there's like additional goodies in there that'll help you make sure you're very clear with your brand.
I think it's such a good place to start. Like I feel like I've totally rebranded recently and like that was
Hmm.
the fun thing is like talking to you before our branding session was literally
Hmm.
just like so much clarity for me. You're like
Yes.
asked a couple of questions and I'm like spewing out like paragraphs. Like,
You're like,
okay,
I never
great.
thought about this.
I'm getting it. Like I'm thinking about it now. And so yeah,
Yes.
it's huge. You just do amazing
Yes.
things. And I just
Thank you. So do you.
everyone's so lucky to work with you. Even like just any video you put out, like, yeah, people need to watch everything because it's so packed with value.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Well, thank you for coming on. And oh, can you
Yeah.
leave us with one like self-care or self like love tip, just anything that someone can go do tonight?
Well, on the topic of photography, I would just say go take a selfie. And honestly, you don't have to post it. It would be cool if you did. Please tag me at 4% photo. It would make my day. But it's kind of okay, aside from like building the muscle, you are when you get in front of the camera and you see yourself and you see some pictures that you're like actually like, that self-love kind of grows in you and you feel good about yourself. And if you don't like any of the pictures, that's okay too, because the more you do it, the more you get familiar with yourself, because maybe that's the issue is you're just not really looking at yourself too much and you're kind of a little bit of a stranger. So I recommend doing that because it's a win-win either way. And you don't have to post it, but
I
you
love
could.
You're building the confidence, you're building the muscle,
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And again,
Thank
everyone
you.
can find you at 4% photo. I tag you all the time. So you're all over my
FOUR, like the number.
So
Thank you so much, Audrey. I appreciate you having me. It was amazing to be here.
I'm so happy you got to make it to another amazing episode of the Ready to Rise podcast. Don't hesitate to share this with a friend that needs to hear it. Send it straight to their DMs. Take a screenshot, throw it up in your stories, tag me in it at Hello Audrey Rose. And don't forget, if you leave a written review on the iTunes app, that also helps people find it. So if it resonates with you, help others find it. And I can't wait to hear how much you loved this awesome episode. Have a blessed day.